How we doing? Today is Thursday, May the 8th, 2025. Just doing a real estate tap-in with you for today. So today, I was listening to a podcast. If you want to go check it out, it's the Ken McElroy podcast on YouTube. He's a commercial real estate guy, and him and his wife, they do a podcast, and today they talked about how the interest on the debt that we have, there's about $9 trillion due at the end of June or sometime in June. And this creates creates an issue, and one that could affect real estate. The interest on the debt that was financed was very low. It's like 1 or 2%. But if they can't refinance the debt at that interest rate or something similar, if they have to refinance it at the rates that are out there right now, which is like 4.5%, that's going to be a major problem for the economy. And on the other end of it, if they are able to get the Fed to lower the interest rate, what will happen is that's going to cause inflation. So they're really in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And the reason why it affects real estate is because if inflation goes up, if he brings the rate down, money's cheaper, property values are going to go up. People are going to start to borrow more money, and pay for real estate, and a lot of times maybe overpay for it. So you can see the inflation rate go up across the board, but, we try to focus on real estate. So, that's going to be good for people who are in real estate, who have, debt on real estate. And again, we always try to bring it back to notes, is that if you're the note owner, if you own a note and, you get that inflation with the property value, it lowers your risk on any potential deal or any potential note that you have, because, the property will be worth more. And based on when you invested in that note and when you bought it for, that's going to lower your risk level in that particular note. So now on the other end, if they don't lower the rate and they have to reissue this debt at or I forget the actual term, but to renegotiate the debt at that like 4.5%, then that's going to cause problems with the economy. And then there may be some more ways that you can buy notes, maybe more distressed notes and things like that will start to come out, if that happens. Maybe these banks will be forced to sell off more of their distressed debt, because of what will be going on in the economy. So it's going to be very interesting for just keep your eyes and ears open for what happens in their meeting close to June. At the beginning of June, I guess they'll have a meeting. Or just pay attention to what, happens with that interest rate. Interest rate drops, real estate is going to pop. Interest rate stays the same, you're probably going to see some negative effects in the economy. And that'll rattle the markets. Just something to consider and look at. Like I said, we want to try to get people into real estate notes, understand notes, how to create them, how to buy and sell them. If you are somebody that, has a property, you might want to think about getting on the financing side of that particular property, and maybe not just the landlord. or if you're selling the property to move somewhere else, maybe you can turn the property that you're living in into an investment with a real estate note on it, or creating a note on it. So, just something for people to think about and watch over. This is why the president is putting so much pressure on Powell to drop the rate, because they see what's coming up. All of this debt that needs to be reissued and renegotiated. If they have to do it at that higher interest rate, it's going to be trouble, and it's not going to be good. And people are not going to react well, if that happens. So a lot of people thinking that he will break Powell and bring the rates down. But then if that happens too, expect everything that you buy to get more expensive. Most of the things that, on top of these tariffs and everything else. So, it's either, one or the other. They have to pick one road to go down or another. So I don't know if there's a third path, but those are the two options right now. All right. Talk to you soon. If you want to catch me at 12:30, you have any questions, maybe you want to, add some commentary to this situation that's going on. I'd love to learn somebody else's perspective. And, I'll be going live at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time today on Abundant Capital Group IG page. You can go there and follow me, and, you'll get the notification when I go live at 12:30 today. All right. Talk to you soon. Have a great one.